Hello, I'm Sulakna, and today I'm speaking with one of the winners of the Executive Committee Awards, Daniel Mutia. He has gone above and beyond in his services to the sports union and thoroughly deserves this award.
It was, a pleasant surprise because these are not awards that you make an application for. The awards that the awarding committee notices, and they say, we think this person has done, amazing things for us, or they've enabled us to achieve our objectives as an organization. So I've been on the sports union exec for 2 years, for 2 terms, and I've done a lot of work in inclusion and bringing more students on board. So it was a real honor to receive the award. Of course, because of COVID-19, initially the awards are awarded in the sports ball every year around January, a very big event. So it would have been amazing to receive the award in the ball, but it's the situation that we are in, and not a big celebration now. Just you and your flatmates, or doing a Zoom celebration. Yeah.
So how did you get involved with the sports union?
It's actually an interesting question. I was playing intramural sports when I was in first year, and so just me and my boys playing football kickabout, and around that time the sports union was organizing a football 5-a-side tournament. Actually, it was 4 different sports, and they were looking for people to form teams based on countries. So that was my initial involvement. So I was a team captain for my country. I got a couple of other people to be team captains for their country. So I had a sort of big involvement and back and forth communication with sports union staff. I think when I was in second year, around second semester, one of the sports union priority was to bring more international students on board. So they created this position in the committee called International Participation Officer. And because I had initial involvement with them, Mikey, who was at the time, he was a staff member in charge of volunteering and participation. So him and the president at that time, Paul Duffy, they got in touch with me and they said, we have this position on the exec and we think you will do well in it. So we welcome you to, of course, it has to be an elective process. So they reached out so that I submit my application, and we did some campaigns and so on. I got elected, and since then it's been a really amazing journey. So we did a lot of work with international students, and then much later I went to a different position, which is vice president for inclusion now, trying to bring on board more categories of students, and having a committee to chair and so on, which has been a very smooth journey.
That's great. And so with your personal experiences, how is is University of Edinburgh quite good at doing sports, a place to do sports and inclusion? Or does it need a lot more work, do you think?
I mean, I think one thing I've found, all these steps, including establishing new positions or allocating funds for inclusion, and having a lot of conferences, a lot of seminars, a lot of guests, it shows that we are making an effort. And the realization that something needs to be done means that things were not very perfect. They are never perfect. But what I like about the sports union and our clubs and our club committees, it's about how receptive they are to change and how they want to do better. Because really I thought when I started my roles, I'll be the person chasing people around, but it turned out to be the other way around. People are always, by people I mean club committees and so on, they're always emailing to ask how can we involve more international students, for example, more Black students, more LGBT plus students. They want to do good, and they're making very active steps, having committee members in charge of inclusion, committee members in charge of well-being, because we think those two things are tied together. And what I've tried to do in my role together with my inclusion committee is to provide more information on specific barriers that these different groups face, because one, the clubs really want to change to accommodate everyone. So we thought if there's enough information on how you can actually support these different groups, then you're in a better chance to do that. So we are not perfect, but I think from my own experience, I think all my interactions with the sports union, they've been very welcoming and very loving.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear.